In this video you will see absolutely stunning views of my home city Edinburgh, my controversial yet incredibly innocent hobby, my adorable puppy, and I share my experience of university changing to online, but from a non-traditional student's perspective. There's stunning wildlife, oh yeah, and studying. That's what this is supposed to be about, right? I have just finished my morning coffee, which I drank as I was getting ready for work. I am going to be spraying down the kitchen as I chat to you, but don't let it fool you. Graham actually does a lot more of the chores than I do, like masses more. So yeah, don't let what's on this camera fool you into thinking I'm some sort of queen of the household chores, because I am far from it. But basically I am going to work this morning. And I'm a key worker, so it's okay for me to work in lockdown. We're currently in lockdown in Scotland. I obviously can't film that because I work with children. I often drive there, but my car is snowed in. So I drive a tiny little Fiat 500, it's not great in the snow. So I think walking's a good thing. Another reason I'm going to walk is because if I don't, I have quite a lot on today, I won't really get my exercise or any time to myself, so walking there and walking back will be my me time. When I get back, I'm also going to be working, but it's on Zoom. So normally I'd be in person for this child, however, considering the circumstances, we've been asked to work from home when we can, and technically I can work on Zoom with this child. So I'll be doing that, and then also a lecture. Probably watch a lecture and do what I can in between work, because obviously I'll have to have lunch and stuff as well. So today is more work heavy than it is uni heavy. Tomorrow will be more uni heavy because I have a day off. Now I don't normally have a day off on a Friday, I'm not that lucky. However, just the way it worked out, I changed a few things and I was asked to work different hours this week, so I have a Friday off. But of course, when you're a mature student, Friday off doesn't really mean a Friday off, but I'm going to try and have a good balance. I've got a lot of uni work to catch up on. I also have some modules for a course that I'm doing and for my voluntary work, and that's quite heavy and quite a lot of it, so I'll have to do that tomorrow. So it's going to kind of be a catch-up day tomorrow, and today is just going to be mainly work. Also, how cute! I also have a very cute dog here. Hold on. This is my actual dog. He's so cute. My Fox. His name is Fox. I'm off work. And the plan is basically just to get as much done as possible, as much catch up. I don't have a set plan. I like to plan things, but I don't have a set plan for today, so hopefully we're a productive one. I hope. My attention span isn't always as good as I'd like it to be, or as good as I think it is. So when I'm going to be at home working for most of the day, I try to switch about rooms just because it gives me a change of scene. Generally, the advice given to people working from home or studying at home is not to work where you relax and keep like certain spaces for relaxing, especially your bed and the bedroom. And I do agree with that. However, I don't know, I find that I'm actually, as long as it's not a regular thing for me, I'm okay. So for example, sometimes on a Sunday morning, I like to sit with my laptop in bed and do uni work in bed. And like for days like today, I don't want to be stuck over in the office the entire time. The office, home office, sort of spare room / office. So yeah, usually I only relax in this room. So I mean, there's a dining table there where we would sometimes eat dinner, but I mean, our couch is for relaxing, and that's generally what I do in here. But I'm going to try some uni work in here just because it is a change of scene, and I have my blankets and I'm quite comfortable here. So just going to smash out some work. There's a fox in the garden. It's so cute. So that right there is the reason that we named our dog Fox. So if you don't know Edinburgh at all, it's full of foxes and it's lovely because you see them quite a lot. And we were trying to pick a name for our puppy, and I wanted a food name, but my food name were too cutesy for Graham to go along with. And one day I said Fox because I was thinking about the foxes. I was on the beach and we named him Fox. So it's nice because since we moved here, the first time we seen a fox was last night in our garden, and that's me seeing it again today, so that's exciting. When I say moved here, I don't mean moved to Edinburgh, I mean moved to this flat, which we did a couple of months ago. We're on our third flat since moving here. Third, but I'm not moving. I'm staying put. I stay here forever. I've had a tea break and now I've moved into the home office, which you saw from yesterday's footage. I have a lot to catch up on with my voluntary course, but I also need to read, where's it gone? Here it is on this bookshelf under the camera. So I need to read a few chapters of this. Oh, the joys, lucky me. Actually, I'm finding it really interesting. It's just quite hard because I didn't take biology even in high school, so being a mature student and coming into university 10 years later with no knowledge of it at all, and then having to sort of do cognitive neuroscience is a challenge. It's not impossible, I'm sure, but yeah. So it's a bit tricky, but I'm quite motivated to learn it because it's interesting, so that helps. The flat, fluffy hair. I know it's weird to shower in the middle of the day. I know some people would be quite upset by that, but it's quite cold and it needed to happen. So here we are. What I really wanted to sit down and chat about is online learning. So I get a lot of questions about this, what it's like to be studying online when that's not what I signed up for. I go to university in person. And what that's like as a mature student and balancing work and studies and motivation and all that jazz. Obviously this experience is really different for each person. So for me, when I was looking at getting a degree as a mature student, obviously I was faced with the option of do I do the open uni, which is obviously a lot more flexible, and I could do like degrees part-time, etc. Or do I just jump in, go part-time at work and just throw myself in the deep end of university life in person, and I chose that second option. The reason I chose that second option is because I know how I learn best, and I feel like I'm a lot better when I'm in person, when I have someone to ask in person and when I have the whole experience. I'm one of these people who my brain switches according to the environment that I'm in. I mean, I guess, I don't know, maybe everyone does that. But so when I'm at work, I very much have my work brain on and I'm motivated to work. When I'm at home, I definitely don't have that and I wish that I did, but I just don't. And so I thought by going into university that would help with that. Also, I'm quite a sociable character, so I like meeting new people and people from different backgrounds that I'm from, etc. So it was kind of ticking my social box as well. Like, I thrive off social interaction. And don't get me wrong, there were so many more factors than what I'm discussing just now involved in that decision-making process. But at the end of it, there was no perfect decision, but for me it felt the best way to study and to get the most out of my degree, and to learn best and become a better practitioner in the line of work that I'd like to go into / I'm already in. So switching to online learning, it definitely had its benefits because the pros that were originally in life still existed. So for example, the flexibility of online learning is immense. The lack of travel and getting to uni and walking there or driving there, you know, depending on where you're living, and I can walk there. It was insane because you get so much time back when you're not traveling and commuting. And then also, if you can fit things around your schedule rather than someone giving you a schedule, it's amazing how much more you can do. So it meant that I could work more, which is fantastic because obviously in the pandemic, my role became even more necessary. So that was nice. It's nice to feel wanted and it's nice to feel like I'm providing a very helpful service. So I think considering the circumstances, it worked out well from that perspective. Because I have more time for my puppy and I'm spending more time with my partner, so these things are really important, and I think I really do want to highlight the good stuff about online learning, in that, you know, it's not all miserable, it's not all horrible, but I do have negatives to talk about and they're quite real. So if I had signed up for online learning, I would know exactly what I was getting into because I would have chosen that. So I'd know the cons and I'd go straight in there knowing the cons, just as I did when I made my choice to go to university in person. The thing is, I didn't choose this way to learn. I didn't choose these cons. I purposefully moved away from these because I didn't think the pros outweighed the cons. So I'm kind of in the same boat as everyone. I'm not really complaining because I know that everyone's in the same boat, and that it's not how I expected to learn and it's not really what I signed up for. And I guess as someone who, you know, waited / took 10 years to go to university compared to what the typical age would be, it kind of feels like a slightly bigger impact because I waited this long to get here and now it's just gone whoosh. I don't have a diagnosis yet, we're kind of in the process of that at uni, but because of the pandemic, educational psychologists aren't in university at the moment, so I don't have an official diagnosis, but I have indicators of dyslexia and there's also a hint of dyspraxia in there as well. So because of that, and because of those needs and, you know, my processing and whatever, it kind of makes online learning a challenge. I found that I was missing important stuff because everything's all over the place, and even things like deadlines, I wasn't quite picking up on them, or it was just hard to feel a part of something, which is one part of it, but also it was hard to, I don't know, be the best student that I could be because I wasn't seeing everything wasn't clear to me. Then there's the point that the more practical stuff is taken away from you. So our labs, I really enjoy labs, and instead of, you know, doing the fun things that were advertised in the uni brochure, you know, like putting EEGs on each other and all the fun experiments and stuff, we don't have any of that. Instead we're just kind of reading, and I mean, we have labs and they try to make them interactive, and that is kind of like an interactive PowerPoint, but it's really not the same as actually handling and getting some practical experience around these things that we're reading about. So it's a bit of a disappointment, and I'm hoping that in third year they will kind of rectify that and that we will get a chance to do these things, and I'm sure we will. but I was looking forward to it. Another issue I'm having a different subject is in data analysis, and we use R for that, and obviously because of the indicators of dyslexia, I often struggle to pick up on the tiny little details that are really important, that really matter in R when you're using R. So that's a bit of a challenge, because unlike last year, I can't just stick my hand up in the middle of a lab and be like, oh, excuse me, something's gone wrong, can you help me out? And then, you know, a tutor would come over and be like, oh, it's okay, you've just done this, and remember to do this. And there's just none of that just now. So, you know, I'm kind of left doing my labs on my own, and if I want to ask a question, I've got to take screenshots and email, and there's a delay, and by that time I'm like, what are you even talking about? Because I've done 6 other subjects since then. So yeah, that's definitely another real challenge for me personally. And also, I think just general motivation for me. Last semester I did a lot better, but now that we're in the second semester, I'm just kind of, I don't know, I'm kind of over it now, and I feel like I've checked out mentally, and I really shouldn't have, because there's so many weeks left of the semester and I've still got exams, and you know, we've not had anything assessed yet, so it's not a good time to feel mentally checked out. And I'm not blaming myself for that, because I think that's the effect that 2 lockdowns is going to have on a person, even though I'm out working. You know, I think that's just, I think it's okay to feel that way. I'm giving myself permission to not feel totally motivated and bored, which in the past I probably would have been quite hard on myself with. But considering the circumstances, I think I'm not the only person that feels this way, and it's really good to know that. And that's where communities like my Instagram community have been so amazing, and I just can't even tell you how encouraging they've been, because I have pages full of people in the same situation as me, people slightly ahead, people slightly behind in terms of their academic journeys, and seeing everyone's different circumstances, and you know, the strengths they have, but also the struggles they have, and it just makes me feel like I'm a part of something.